Dr. Hyun-woo Park stood at the edge of a desolate rocky plateau, his environmental suit protecting him from the harsh alien atmosphere. The planet's twin moons cast an eerie blue-green light across the landscape, illuminating scattered metallic debris and strange rock formations that seemed almost deliberately arranged. His research team had been investigating what appeared to be the remnants of an ancient crash site. Hours of scanning and careful documentation had yielded little until now. The communication device on his wrist suddenly beeped, indicating an unusual energy signature coming from a narrow canyon about 500 meters to his left. Curiosity drove him forward. Each step crunched against the rocky ground, tiny pebbles scattering beneath his heavy boots. The canyon walls rose steep and jagged, creating shadows that seemed to dance and shift with every movement. As he approached the location of the energy reading, a faint shimmer caught his eye. Something was partially buried beneath loose rocks and twisted metal fragments. At first, he thought it might be some mechanical component, but as he carefully moved the debris, he realized it was a living being. The alien looked fragile. Her skin was pale with a slight iridescent quality, almost translucent in the moonlight. Multiple complex injury patterns covered her body, deep cuts, what seemed like internal burns, and signs of severe trauma. Her breathing was shallow, each breath a delicate struggle against potential death. Hyun-woo's medical training kicked in immediately. He activated his emergency medical protocols, scanning her vital signs and physiological characteristics. Nothing in his database matched her species precisely. Her biological structure was unlike anything he had ever encountered, complex neural networks visible just beneath her skin, cellular structures that seemed to pulse with an internal rhythm. He knew immediate action was crucial. The environmental conditions were harsh, and her injuries were severe. Using specialized medical nanobots from his emergency kit, he began stabilizing her critical systems. The nanobots worked meticulously, repairing damaged cellular structures and preventing further deterioration. Her eyes flickered briefly, not human eyes, but large, almond-shaped openings that seemed to reflect multiple colors simultaneously. For a brief moment, she looked directly at Hyun-woo, a glance that seemed to communicate more than words ever could. Pain, recognition, hope all merged in that single moment of consciousness. The medical procedure was delicate. Alien physiology was always challenging, but her unique biological composition required extraordinary precision. Hyun-woo's hands moved with practiced expertise, adjusting nanobot protocols, monitoring her rapidly changing biological responses. Hours passed. The alien's condition gradually stabilized. Her breathing became more regular, the dangerous internal bleeding stopped, and her cellular regeneration accelerated beyond typical medical expectations. Hyun-woo realized he was witnessing something extraordinary, a life being restored against seemingly impossible odds. As dawn broke across the alien landscape, casting long shadows and warming the rocky terrain, the alien's vital signs became more stable. Hyun-woo prepared her for transportation, carefully securing her in a specialized medical containment unit designed for interstellar travel and unknown biological entities. His team would be surprised. A living alien specimen, rescued from what appeared to be a catastrophic incident, was now under his care. The scientific implications were immense. Who was she? What civilization did she represent? How had she survived such devastating injuries? Questions would have to wait. Right now, survival was the priority. Hyun-woo carefully loaded the containment unit into their research vessel, ensuring minimal movement and maximum protection. The alien's survival depended on his skill, his technology, and perhaps a bit of medical miracle. Little did he know that this unexpected encounter would change everything, not just for him, but potentially for human understanding of life beyond their known universe. The journey back to the research vessel was quiet, filled only with the soft humming of medical equipment and the alien's steady, recovering breathing. A new chapter was about to begin. The medical bay hummed with soft electronic sounds as the alien slowly regained consciousness. Hyun-woo noticed her eyes opening, strange, shifting colors that seemed to reflect her inner emotions. She looked around, confused but not afraid. "You're safe," Hyun-woo said softly, using the universal translation device attached to his medical tablet. Her response was not verbal, but a series of gentle color changes across her skin, blues blending into soft greens, then pale lavenders. Within hours, she began demonstrating an unusual attachment to Hyun-woo. Whenever he moved, she would follow. During medical checks, she would position herself closest to him, watching his every movement with an intensity that made the other crew members uncomfortable. The research vessel's crew started noticing strange occurrences. Tools would mysteriously be organized perfectly before Hyun-woo needed them. Complex computer systems would suddenly become more efficient when she was nearby. It was as if she was learning and adapting rapidly. During mealtimes, she would sit near Hyun-woo, not eating, but observing. Her luminescent skin would pulse gently, changing colors based on the conversations happening around her. The crew began calling her Ari, a simple name Hyun-woo had casually mentioned. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the ship's senior researcher, approached Hyun-woo with concerns. She's not just recovering. She's integrating. Have you noticed how she anticipates things before they happen? Hyun-woo understood. Ari wasn't just a patient anymore. She was becoming something more, a companion, a mysterious presence that seemed to understand more than she should. Her communication was unique. Sometimes through subtle skin color changes, sometimes through intricate hand movements, and occasionally through the translation device that seemed to struggle to capture the complexity of her language. One night, during a routine system check, Ari demonstrated an unexpected ability. When a minor technical malfunction occurred in the communication systems, she approached the control panel. Her fingers moved with precision, almost dancing across the interfaces. Within minutes, the system was not just repaired but significantly improved. The crew watched in amazement. Hyun-woo realized she wasn't just following him, she was learning, adapting, and trying to be useful. Her attachment wasn't just emotional, it was a deep-rooted desire to contribute. During space navigation sessions, Ari would stand behind the pilots, her skin displaying complex patterns that seemed to correlate with star charts and navigation calculations. The pilots noticed that when she was present, their navigation became smoother, more intuitive. Rumors started spreading among the crew. Some were fascinated, others were afraid. An alien who could understand their systems, who could communicate without words, who seemed to have an almost supernatural connection with technology and with Hyun-woo. Hyun-woo found himself explaining her presence repeatedly. She's recovering. She's learning. She means no harm. But even he wasn't entirely sure what was happening. At night, when most of the crew slept, Ari would sit near Hyun-woo's sleeping quarters. Not sleeping herself, but watching, protecting. Her skin would emit a soft, comforting glow, a silent guardian whose entire existence now seemed centered around the doctor who had saved her life. The research vessel became something more than a scientific mission. It transformed into a living experiment of interspecies communication, adaptation, and unexpected companionship. Hyun-woo knew one thing for certain: whatever Ari was, wherever she came from, she had chosen him. And her choice would change everything they understood about alien life, about connection, about the vast, unknown universe they were exploring. As stars drifted past the vessel's windows and distant galaxies painted silent stories, Ari remained a mysterious, luminescent presence, forever linked to the human who had given her a second chance at existence. The research vessel encountered its first major challenge 3 weeks after Ari's rescue. A complex mechanical failure threatened to disable their primary navigation systems during a critical deep space traverse. While the human crew frantically worked to diagnose the problem, Ari stood quietly in the corner of the control room. Her skin began to glow with intricate patterns, blues, greens, and silvery lines moving like liquid circuitry. Before anyone could understand what was happening, she touched the main control panel. The seemingly random color patterns on her skin synchronized perfectly with the ship's computer interfaces. Hyun-woo watched in astonishment as the navigation systems not only stabilized but dramatically improved. Complex calculations that would have taken hours were now completed in seconds. The ship's efficiency increased by nearly 70%, a feat that seemed impossible moments before. Dr. Elena Rodriguez approached Hyun-woo, her scientific skepticism battling with genuine amazement. She's not just fixing the system. She's completely restructuring it, she whispered. The other crew members stared in disbelief. Ari's abilities continued to manifest in unexpected ways. During a routine asteroid field navigation, she demonstrated an uncanny ability to predict micro-movements of space debris. Her skin would flash specific color warnings milliseconds before potential collision points, allowing the pilots to make split-second corrections. The ship's chief engineer, Park Jin-ho, began documenting her interactions with technology. She didn't just understand their systems, she seemed to communicate with them on a fundamental level. Machines responded to her touch as if they were living organisms, becoming more efficient, more responsive. During a scientific research session, Ari showed another surprising skill. When the team struggled to analyze complex molecular structures from an unknown planetary sample, she approached the research terminal. Her fingers moved in intricate patterns, and suddenly, detailed molecular maps appeared, revealing information that would have taken months of traditional research. Hyunwoo realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. Ari wasn't just an alien survivor, she was a living technology, a biological interface that could understand and manipulate complex systems beyond human comprehension. The crew's initial fear transformed into curiosity. They began including her in research sessions, observing how her unique abilities could solve problems that had previously seemed impossible. She didn't communicate through words but through actions, through the subtle language of her changing skin and precise interactions. One critical moment came during a deep space anomaly detection. The ship's sensors detected an unusual energy signature that didn't match any known scientific classification. While the human researchers debated and analyzed, Ari stood near the main sensor array. Her entire body began to pulse with a rhythmic pattern that seemed to match the anomaly's frequency. Suddenly, detailed information about the energy signature began streaming into the ship's computer. It was a level of data collection that would have taken months of traditional research, now available in moments. The anomaly wasn't just recorded, it was understood at a fundamental level. Hyunwoo noticed something else. Ari's attachment to him remained constant. During these moments of extraordinary revelation, she would always ensure he was nearby, her skin maintaining a soft glow that seemed to pulse in sync with his heartbeat. The research vessel was no longer just a scientific mission. It had become a living experiment of interspecies potential, of capabilities that challenged everything humans understood about intelligence, technology, and communication. As the days passed, the crew began to see Ari not as an alien passenger, but as a critical member of their team. Her hidden potential was transforming their understanding of what was possible in the vast, unknown universe. Hyunwoo watched her, knowing they had only scratched the surface of her capabilities. Whatever her original purpose, whatever civilization she came from, Ari was now part of their journey, a mysterious, luminescent bridge between known science and unimaginable potential. The stars outside continued their silent dance, witnessing the unfolding story of an alien who was becoming much more than anyone could have predicted. The first attack came without warning. Massive energy weapons sliced through the darkness of space, targeting the research vessel with precision that suggested an intelligence beyond random aggression. Hyunwoo watched in horror as the first blast struck their defensive shields, creating a violent shimmer of electromagnetic disruption. Ari's reaction was instantaneous. Her skin transformed from its usual soft glow to a fierce metallic pattern of deep reds and sharp silvers. Before the human crew could initiate defensive protocols, she was already interfacing with the ship's weapons systems. The alien confederation responsible for the attack was known as the Crimson Collective, a ruthless group of technological scavengers hunting for rare biological and technological artifacts. Their primary target was clear: Ari herself. Massive battleships emerged from the darkness, their angular designs cutting through space like predatory machines. Each vessel carried weapons that could destroy a research ship in seconds. But something unexpected happened. As they approached, Ari's body began to emit a complex frequency that seemed to disrupt their advanced targeting systems. Hyunwoo watched in amazement as their ship's defensive capabilities increased exponentially. Ari wasn't just protecting them, she was actively counterattacking. Her skin became a living interface, translating complex technological signals and turning the attacker's own systems against them. The ship's weapons, previously considered standard issue, began firing with unprecedented accuracy. Energy pulses found impossible angles, navigating through the attacking ship's defensive grids like intelligent serpents. The Crimson Collective's fleet started experiencing systematic failures, navigation systems failing, weapon controls freezing, shield generators collapsing. "She's using their own technology against them," Park Jin-ho shouted, monitoring the battle's progression. The ship's computer systems were being manipulated by Ari in ways no human programmer could comprehend. 3 battle cruisers were disabled within minutes. Their massive hulls drifted powerless, their advanced weapons now nothing more than dead metal. The remaining ships began a strategic retreat, unable to penetrate the unexpected defense. Ari remained connected to the ship's systems, her body pulsing with intricate light patterns. She wasn't just defending, she was learning, analyzing, preparing for future potential threats. Her attachment to Hyun-woo remained constant even during the most intense moments of battle. She ensured he remained safe. The crew realized something profound: Ari was more than a survivor. She was a weapon, a living technological entity with capabilities far beyond their understanding. Her rescue wasn't just a medical miracle, it was potentially the discovery of a lifetime. Medical scans revealed something extraordinary. The injuries Hyun-woo had initially treated were not random. They were strategic, a method of hiding her true capabilities, of appearing vulnerable when she was anything but. As the battle's aftermath settled, Ari approached Hyun-woo. Her skin shifted through colors, gratitude, protection, connection. She wasn't just showing emotion. She was communicating a complex message about her past, about the threats that had pursued her. The research vessel had become something more than a scientific mission. It was now a sanctuary, a mobile fortress protecting a being whose potential could change everything humans understood about technology and life itself. Hyun-woo placed his hand near Ari, not touching her but close enough to feel the energy radiating from her body. She had saved them. She had transformed from a rescued alien to their most powerful defender. Outside, the stars continued their silent watch. The Crimson Collective would return. They would not stop hunting Ari. But for now, they had been defeated by a force they could neither understand nor predict. The research vessel moved forward into the darkness, carrying its most extraordinary passenger, a living technology, a mysterious defender, a being whose true potential was just beginning to reveal itself. 6 months after the battle with the Crimson Collective, the research vessel entered a previously uncharted star system. Ari's presence had transformed their mission from a simple scientific expedition to something far more profound. Her connection with Hyun-woo had become a bridge between human understanding and alien potential. A massive holographic display emerged from the ship's central research chamber. Ari's skin pulsed with intricate patterns, translating complex astronomical data that no human computer could fully process. Star charts, planetary compositions, and quantum-level information appeared simultaneously, a living database more advanced than any technological system humans had ever created. Hyun-woo watched as Ari reconstructed the history of her lost civilization. Not through words, but through visual projections that danced across the ship's interfaces. Fragments of a technologically advanced society emerged, civilizations that had mastered interdimensional travel, communication beyond physical limitations, and technologies that bordered on what humans would call magic. The crew discovered that Ari wasn't just a survivor. She was a living archive, carrying the genetic and technological memory of an entire civilization that had been systematically destroyed. The Crimson Collective hadn't just been hunting her, they had been attempting to erase the last trace of a species that represented a technological threat. During a critical research session, Ari demonstrated her most extraordinary ability yet. She could reconstruct entire technological systems from microscopic memory fragments. Complex machines that had been considered impossible were now being designed using her intuitive understanding. Dr. Elena Rodriguez documented everything. "She's not just showing us technology," she told Hyun-woo. "She's teaching us an entirely new way of understanding technological evolution." The ship's mission transformed. They were no longer just explorers but guardians of a living technological legacy. Ari's presence meant humanity was about to take its most significant leap in scientific understanding. Her attachment to Hyun-woo remained constant. During critical moments, she would ensure he was nearby, her skin maintaining a soft glow that seemed to pulse in rhythm with his heartbeat. It was more than protection, it was a deep, inexplicable connection that transcended traditional understanding of companionship. Planetary scans revealed potential colonization sites, technological reconstruction possibilities, and scientific breakthroughs that would take human civilization decades to understand. Ari was systematically guiding them, showing them paths of exploration they had never imagined. The Crimson Collective's subsequent attacks became less frequent. They realized they were facing something beyond traditional warfare, a living technological entity that could adapt faster than any known defense system. As they approached a cluster of unexplored star systems, Ari's body began to emit a complex frequency. Star charts reconfigured themselves, hidden planetary systems became visible, and quantum communication channels opened, revealing a universe far more interconnected than humans had ever understood. Hyunwoo realized they were no longer just a research team. They had become something else, ambassadors of a new understanding, carriers of a technological legacy that could reshape human civilization's entire approach to space exploration. The ship moved silently through the darkness, carrying its most extraordinary passenger. Ari wasn't just an alien anymore. She was a bridge between what was known and what could be imagined. Her skin continued to pulse, a living, breathing testament to the mysteries of the universe. Colors shifted, patterns emerged, and silent stories of lost civilizations danced across her luminescent surface. As distant stars watched, the research vessel continued its journey, no longer just exploring space, but rewriting the very understanding of what exploration could mean. Hyunwoo looked at Ari, understanding that their journey was just beginning. The universe had countless secrets, and they had found the most extraordinary key to unlocking them. The end.